Fossils, a frequently used term in paleontology, has made its way into scientific literature, educational materials, documentaries, as well as many other various media, and has sparked the curiosity of those fascinated by the prehistoric world. In this video, we will explore the world of fossils and explain everything you need to know about these rare treasures, preserved throughout the passage of time. Fossils are preserved remains, or traces of remains, of once-living organisms from the past. However, these preservations don't always consist of entire organisms. In most cases, only bones, shells, or teeth are discovered. For something to be classified as a fossil, its age must reach the commonly accepted boundary of approximately 10,000 years, which marks the end of the last Pleistocene glacial event. Even so, the vast majority of fossils are significantly older. The oldest documented fossil consists of cyanobacteria, a type of algae from the Archean Eon, with an estimated age of 3.5 billion years. The comprehensive global collection of fossils is recognized as the fossil record. The total number of discovered fossils reaches into trillions, yet only a small fraction of them have been documented and analyzed. Although incomplete, the fossil record can provide enough information to give us a good understanding of the ancient life on our planet, and show us how the environment and continents have changed through the geological time. The scientific field which focuses on fossil data is known as paleontology, from the Greek ancient and study, and those who collect and analyze this information are called paleontologists. It's worth noting that paleontological observations date as far back as the 5th century BC. Regardless of its size, any living organism has the potential of turning into a fossil, whether it's a minuscule bacterium or a sizable animal. The term macrofossil is used for organisms that are sufficiently large to be studied without a microscope. In contrast, microfossils are invisible to the naked eye and require detailed microscopic analysis. The distinguishing factor between these two categories is the 1 millimeter threshold. Fossils are often found in sedimentary rocks, also known as strata, deep in the ground. In fact, the word fossil is derived from the Latin word fossus and can be translated as a dug up. Unfortunately, just a small portion of these ancient organisms make it into the fossil record. Most of these organisms simply decay quickly after they pass away and disappear without a trace, making fossilization, the process of an organism becoming a fossil, extremely rare. In order for an organism to become fossilized, the remains need to be covered by sediment, including mud, sand, seafloor, lava, or even sticky tar shortly after their passing away. If not, the remains become exposed to physical and biological processes that may lead to their destruction. For instance, fossils have a higher chance of preservation in marine environments, where rapid burial by sediments is more likely. In general, fossilization mainly involves organisms with hard body parts, such as skeletons, shells, or teeth. Yet, on rare occasions, under specific conditions, there have been instances of remains with fossilized soft body parts, including skin, hair, or muscle tissue. There are many processes that lead to fossilization. To mention a few, let's start with permineralization. After the burial, the empty spaces within an organism are filled with mineral-rich fluids. Eventually, the organic material is replaced by the minerals and is turned into stone, or petrified. This process can be seen with bones and some plants. The process called the replacement takes a step further and occurs when the tissues dissolve and are entirely replaced, in most cases, by pyrite, which results in gold-like fossils. Then there are impression fossils, also known as casts and molds. Impression forms when an organism leaves an imprint in soft sediment. Once that imprint hardens, it creates a fossil in the original shape of the object. The organism-shaped hole in the rock is called an external mold. Alternatively, an internal mold, often referred to as an endocast, forms when the hollow spaces of a mold are filled with mineral matter. Finally, the rarest form is the preservation of an entire organism with minimal or no alteration. Fossilization of these remains involves material other than rock. Amber, for example, a fossilized form of tree resin, frequently contains trapped insects. Occasionally, intact bodies of frozen animals are unearthed in permafrost regions. When it comes to types of fossils, there are two main categories. First, there are body fossils, which preserve an actual structure of an organism. These can be fossilized imprints, bones, replacement fossils like petrified wood, or whole-body fossils. Next, there are trace fossils. These do not provide information about the organisms. Instead, they reveal the traces those organisms left behind. There are three major types: movement traces, which tell us about how ancient animals interacted with their habitats; predation traces, such as tooth marks; and digestive traces, consisting of fossilized excrement, also known as coprolites. An easy way to distinguish between these two is that body fossils provide information about the appearance of the fossilized organism, while trace fossils offer insights into the fossilized organism's behavior. There are two main methods of determining the age of fossils: relative and absolute dating. Absolute dating is used to determine the precise age of a fossil through radiometric dating methods. These techniques rely on the presence of radioactive minerals within the fossil, or more often, the rocks associated with it. Knowing the decay rate of these minerals and measuring the proportion of isotopes, scientists can calculate the age of that rock. Most people are familiar with carbon dating. It measures radioactive isotopes present in once-living organic material, rather than rock. During their lives, plants and animals absorb carbon from their surroundings. But when these organisms die, they no longer take in any carbon, and the carbon in their bodies starts to decay at a known rate. Hence, scientists can form the idea of how long it has been since the organism died. However, this method can only be used with fossils up to 60,000 years old, as the carbon decays too fast. Due to the complexity of absolute dating, the majority of fossils are dated using relative dating technique. Fossils can help to match rocks of the same age. The matching process is called correlation, which has played a big part in constructing geological timescales. For example, the approximate age of a previously undated fossil can be determined by comparing it to a dated one of the same species found in another location. Sedimentary rocks are typically deposited in a chronological sequence, with the oldest layer situated at the bottom and the youngest layer positioned at the top. This is called the principle of superposition. Scientists often use fossils that are referred to as index fossils, also known as guide or indicator fossils, to simplify the correlation process and define boundaries in the geologic timescale. A useful index fossil must exist only for a particular span of time, have wide geographic distribution and sufficient abundance, and also exhibit distinct morphological characteristics that make them easily recognizable. Notably, the majority of index fossils are marine organisms, due to them living in an environment already suitable for fossilization. Common examples include ammonites, trilobites, graptolites, and brachiopods. The story of our planet is written in rocks beneath our feet, and there is always more to uncover. Today, you've taken the first of the many courageous steps on a journey to the prehistoric world here on Paleo Frontier.